Welcome to the InnovA podcast, a place for auction business owners who have built successful operations but now want to scale their companies and leave a lasting legacy in the industry. If you want more growth, less grind, you've come to the right place.
Hello and welcome back to the InnovA podcast, where we talk about building smarter, more profitable auction businesses. I'm joined again by Jodi Amaya, founder and executive vice president of InnovA. Welcome back, Jodi.
Hi, Brandon.
Today, we are talking about tackling something every auction company hits eventually, which we are calling the scaling ceiling. So what, in your mind, Jodi, does that mean for auctioneers? And why does technology play such a big role in overcoming this scaling ceiling?
That's a great question. I talk to a lot of auction companies every day. And one thing that I commonly hear is, Jodi, we're growing. I can't find people. Do you know who I can hire? Can I hire you? And so, a lot of times people don't really understand how technology can benefit them. And it took me a while to figure out the right way to explain it. And I think that the logic, the things that we do every day as auctioneers, as yard managers, as office managers, as clerks who register and do different things, there is ways that InnovA has automated those processes so that your team doesn't have to feel like when they're entering inventory or entering data into the system, did I do it right? Did I get this right? Have I done that? So there's checklist and logic that's built into InnovA that it's basically to where your auction software can become another employee for you, make your employees more effective. They feel better about the work that they're doing with the logic that is built in. So we're allowing your teams to work smarter, not harder, by building in this logic and workflows that just keep everything consistent to make you more efficient and hopefully more profitable. That's the goal.
I love that. This phrase that you used before when you and I have talked is that the technology solution that you guys are thinking about, the processes, the logic, that it's really like this multiplication tool, that it multiplies the auction owner. Can you talk a little bit about that? Like, what does that mean and how does that show up in real world auction businesses?
I think the easiest way that I can say it is that, I think of Alexa, how she gets smarter and smarter the more you use her.
Right.
I think that that's what your data should do for you. Like my auction customers, everybody on their team should kind of be able to continue working where they're at. They add inventory, but then the way they create inventory descriptions, the technology can fine tune it so that they keep doing the work, but you get a better outcome. So for example, like an inspection template. Sometimes you could send somebody out to write up a truck and it could be the exact same truck and 3 people would write it up differently. That's not what buyers want to see. Your buyers want to see consistent descriptions. They want to see more pictures. They want to see photos. So if technology can help create that inventory brand standard, then your brand as a company stands out. And so instead of fighting the technology that can actually benefit you, because we're not replacing expertise, we're adding to it, we're enhancing it, so that you can eventually rely on it. And your buyers can look at you, the way that you're building your descriptions and compare it to your competitors. That's what they're doing. So we can focus on that logic and see how it's going to help each person on the auction team.
I like that. I think another way to maybe thinking about it, at least from my experience of using, technology in different ways, obviously, a podcast is very technological, very digital.
Yeah.
But what's important is the process, making sure everything is consistent and it just works every time. And so what I'm hearing is standardize, make sure catalog orders are all correct. There's consistent photo requirements, the fee structures, the bidder communication. Is it that kind of thing? Like how you guys basically remove that from the auction owner's brain, put it into a computer so that they can focus on the more important things?
That's exactly right. You've got it. So At first, just to be completely transparent, I'm a checklist girl. So I also like, so have the photos been done? Has the video been done? Has the inspection been created the way that I think it should be done? And then going back over that and triple checking that takes so much time. So with InnovA, what I wanted to build in there was some reassurance that the standards that we're trying to change something. We're saying that what we're doing is not scalable, that we are feeling a pain point of that we can't grow anymore without adding more people. So my solution for that was, and I'm talking about inventory as one example of logic. I'll give some other examples, but what I'm trying to, I guess, express is that the system knows what your standards are. So when you become a customer of InnovA, we go through this discovery process with you, and we ask you, what are your standards? What are your pain points? What are you looking to solve? And we build those solutions. Most of them are already built in, but we can change some configurations based upon how your company wants to run and the performance that your company is trying to achieve. So we've hard-coded some auction best practices into the system that can standardize things like catalog order, consistency in photo requirements, video requirements, fee structures, a lot of things that take people, like many tasks have been shortened so that person can check it off their list, know that it's done, don't feel like they have to go back and recheck it. I mean, that's a big deal to have peace of mind.
Help me make a little bit more of the connection to growth. So we're talking about the scaling ceiling, and I'm imagining there are some listeners that we have that are saying like, okay, like, yes, I want to grow my business, and I know that, either people can help me. I'm reluctant to hire more people, and I have all this knowledge, and I know processes would help me, but help me understand, like, go like one step further. Like, okay, technology is useful and it helps me grow. How? Like, why does that matter so much if I'm wanting to like get past this like scaling ceiling that I'm feeling right now?
And that's important, and that's something that I try to talk through with my prospects or future customers, is because a lot of times the first thing they say to me is, we can't grow, we need more people. People are so hard to find. And I say, true, and we can't fix that. We can't solve that right away. And a lot of times you hire people and you invest time in training them and they don't get it, or they leave, or whatever that is. So let's focus on what we do have. What is the struggle for this team member on your team? Okay, it's tracking titles. And then the title descriptions, not matching the inventory descriptions. So then your customer ends up, the buyer ends up upset with it later. So now you have an upset buyer, a returned item, you're having problems with collections. And so it just continues to pile on top of each other. So if you're already having those problems, and let's say you're selling, 2,000 assets a month, how do you think you're going to sell 4,000 assets a month? Because you're already having a scalability problem. And so we've got to look at how to do better with what we have. I believe technology is that solution because I see it work. So it isn't always about, I need more and more people to grow more. It's, I need to do better with what I have, or I need another tool to help me do better. Because a lot of times the staff, I had a customer say to me, it's been a couple of years now that she said this, but she said, Jodi, I could never take a day off. I hadn't had a day off in 6 years. I have only taken one day in the past, and that was just recently for her father's funeral. She's like, none of my staff feels like they can take off work. We're always so far behind. What we're creating is not really the best quality, and we don't really feel good about it, but we don't know how to do better. And so I said, well, what if I told you that could change? And it really wasn't until about 60 days into using InnovA that she said, if I ever have to use anything else, I won't be here. I won't be here anymore. Because she only started working, about 40, 50 hours a week. She was able to take weekends off. She was being able to balance her life. And I know it sounds very cheesy, to be able to help somebody balance their life, but also they are more rewarded by the work that they do. Imagine working, and still not feeling good about what you do. That's just not a good feeling. And so really technology can help you create standards, which is where you want to be, not just I'm okay with this quality because it's the best that I can get. Creating a standard and then minimizing the steps to even a better standard. Then you feel good about the work, you feel rewarded, and now you've cut down all those problems. So now you can focus on growth because you're not just focused on all those other things. It's a long-winded answer, I know, but it doesn't seem possible sometimes, but it really is.
And you said 60 days. That does not strike me as a super long amount of time. I mean, especially if you've been in business for years and years and years, and you've got, you're building a, good business, you got a good team. 60 days, like if you told me like in 60 days, a lot of your problems as a business are going to be solved. I'm like, hallelujah, that sounds great. 60 days I can wait for that,
That's pretty cool.
And that's amazing.
Yeah.
It's like really fast. Yeah.
Yeah. It is, I think, to the user though, imagine, when you get a new phone, even like whether your iPhone or Android, doesn't matter. You get a new phone and it's just different. You didn't really like the way that your other phone was working. You didn't like, some things about it, and about all these improvements that this new phone's going to give you. But it takes a little while before you can see the results of it to where you're like, okay, I'm comfortable with this. The old was ugly, but I got comfortable with it. So this new is unfamiliar. This data is going in. I don't really know what the data looks like coming out. Like I'm not used to that yet. I haven't done it enough. And so now my customers say they can't live without it. A customer said to me last week that it has grown his business 5 times and that he hasn't hired any more employees. So the results have been proven. It's getting the people that need to be comfortable with change, but it's super exciting to be a part of it and to help them build out these plans.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I can imagine technology feeling a little overwhelming, especially when you've been doing this process. Like, you've been in the business for decades. It's like, I have this like way I've been doing it. It's all I know. I don't know how to do it elsewhere. But, having the kind of a technology solution like that, it is change. It's scary, but exciting.
It's scary. I mean, their business, they're looking at, I want to grow. I feel like I'm doing well. I'm okay with my profits, but change is scary. Yeah. So the thought of doing that and getting a whole team to participate on it and auctions, we move quick, so it's just a little uncomfortable, but being uncomfortable is growing. So that's what I'm here to help them with.
So to summarize a bit of what we talked about, so there's auction owners who might be listening who are growing, but they feel like they're hitting this ceiling and they want to feel like, okay, I want to get past this. I know that technology can be a part of that. I know a good partner is a part of that. I know certain key employees are a part of that and processes are a part of that. And what you're offering is, well, technology is a major component of that solution. And there is a way that you can standardize these things through technology. From that, you get higher standards, you get more efficiency, and you get something repeatable, that all of which helps you grow. Sounds too good to be true.
It does, doesn't it?
I'm skeptical.
I know.
What do you say to that? What is that? Somebody listening and they're thinking like, I don't know. Like, what would you encourage them with to feel like they can get over that that scary change moment?
Go back to the original problem. When we got on this call, or we started our conversation, even if I'm on the phone with a customer or prospect, said, sir, if I'm talking to a sir, you told me your problem is growth. So what is the impact if you don't make a change? Your team is burned out. You're looking for more staff. That's not the answer. Maybe it is. But if you don't make a change of some sort, you stay where you are. Growing is uncomfortable in any part of life, but I believe that InnovA is different, that we're a partner, that we're not just going to go, here you are, now go figure out how to use it. We have a great customer success team that's going to train. We're a business provider where we consult in business. We're going to listen to your goals. We're going to see if you're getting there. We're going to help you measure it. There's a lot of things that we do that are going to provide. I hope I build trust with that customer, that they can go, okay, Jodi's got the tech side. She's going to work with my team. InnovA is my partner. I'm going to trust that, at least for, give me 6 months. If you don't see improvement, it's going to take less than 6 months. But then go back to what you were doing. But I promise you, in 6 months, you're going to see a new way that you didn't think was even possible.
I like that. You got a plan B. Taste and see. See if this is going to work out.
Because I promise you, the
we'll talk
plan
about
A
it.
that you talked about, they came to me with the problem, saying that growth, that they felt that they couldn't grow, that they were hitting a ceiling. So if you keep doing what you're doing, you still end up with the same problem.
That's right. And I like that you brought up the kind of quality of life stuff. I mean, I think for a lot of business owners out there, that grind can be overwhelming.
Yeah.
And if you said you will make the exact same revenue next year, but you're going to work half as much,
Yeah.
I might take you up on that.
Absolutely.
Even if I didn't grow a bit,
I want to work
great.
from Tahiti. I've never even been wherever,
sounds
but it just sounds beautiful. So if I can help my customers while I'm in Tahiti, that would be great. But if my auction owners, a lot of them travel a lot and they're constantly setting up inventory and, this or that. But what if they were able to work outside of their business and not just in their business? If they could trust their team and their technology partner to run the inside of their business and the results were paying off, that they could see the results, that they could work on the outside of growing the business and maybe even working from Tahiti. I don't know.
I mean, I'm down. I'm ready to go to Tahiti.
I'm ready.
I love that.
Hopefully they buy me a ticket too. If I make them enough money, they pay for my Tahiti. I don't know. That would be great too.
Hey, I have heard promising things. I can't mention things on this call, but I have heard exciting things. So yeah.
Yes.
No, so about that, we've got lots of really cool stuff coming out from the InnovA team, that there's going to be tons of resources, a lot more activity on all the digital channels, and a lot more exciting things as you guys are preparing and launching new auctions and working with your clients. So lots of fun things in store. So if you're listening to this show, please go to InnovaLLC.com. That's INNOVALLC.com. Check out our YouTube channel. Sign up for our newsletter. We've got a lot more cool stuff coming. So we will see you on the flip side next time.
Thank you, Brandon.